no plans at all. Evil man's always transcending. Fighter like sheep, swallow everything. Always simpletons or pretending.
This is your moment of clarity from LeeCamp.net, the History Channel. How lucky are we that we have an entire 24-hour channel devoted to our history, devoted to telling us where we've been and where we shouldn't step when we come back through. You can't learn from your mistakes if you don't remember them. For example, we never would have gone into Iraq if we had just remembered about Vietnam. And I never would have slept with that woman if I had just remembered she was my cousin. And we never would have gone to that Kevin James movie if we had just remembered everything Kevin James had ever done. Really, you have to know your history. Unfortunately, history is written by the victors, though. So the History Channel has to ask itself, are we in the business of history or the business of the whitewashed fun for the whole family history? Do we give the version where Columbus is a mass murderer who discovered a land with 20 million people? You know, the version from his own journals? Or do we give the other version where he wore a cape, kissed babies, and petted lepers on the head? The History Channel boldly stood up and said, we're in the business of the second one, you said, the one about the storybook version. Because the other version's creepy. We're not going to talk about the declassified documents saying the Gulf of Tonkin incident that brought us into war in Vietnam didn't happen, because that version's for wackos. We're not talking about the civil trial in 1999 finding the federal government responsible for Martin Luther King's murder, because that is tinfoil hat stuff. We're not going to get into organizations like ALEC that allow the collusion between corporations and state governments. That is information for twitchy people with beady eyes who think the NSA is watching them. We're not covering any of that crazy town Charlie Sheen on a bad day shit. We here at the History Channel are involved with cold hard facts, like the aliens who founded humanity. Let's put that in prime time. The zombies who used to run the earth. Sounds good. We will fill our schedule with Bigfoot spotting and alien architects. That's right, coming up next we have a cutting-edge interview with a lunatic who's had a bong strapped to his face like a feed bag for 30-odd years. His blood ecstasy level is 75%. He happened to mention earlier that his clothing is made of happy farts, and he has some very important information to share with you about the abominable snowman and how he might just be related to Ulysses S. Grant. That is all fine. That is a matter of documented historical fact. But don't bring us information on the systematic jailing of African Americans creating a new Jim Crow. That's what we call here in the biz cuckoo. So all I'm saying is, fuck the History Channel. Alright? Get your information from a real source, like the Discovery Channel, that has something to do with Amish people and motorcycles. Something. That's been your moment of clarity from LeeCamp.net. The idea for this episode came from Anthony Ferda, who's also an amazing artist. I'll put a link to his stuff in the description. Also, if you want to help Moment of Clarity keep growing, go to donateyouraccount.com/LeeCamp. There's no money involved. You're just helping spread the word. Thanks. Keep fighting.